We're going to cheer up for our game of the day, which is looking ahead to some college basketball. All of these lines, of course, are according to FanDuel Sportsbook. It is the Iron Bowl of college basketball. Number 4 Auburn, who is 14-1, 3-0 in conference play, will visit Alabama, who's ranked 24th right now, 11-4 on the season, 2-1 in conference play, or the number 1 team in the SEC against the third best team in the SEC as it stands right now. Right now, Alabama is the favorite at -3 at home, with a total sitting at 156. Will Bama be able to disrupt this 11-game winning streak that Auburn is currently riding at home tonight? Arky, that is the question, and I know this is your team, so how will you be playing this one tonight, my friend?
Yeah, this is a tough one. It really is. This is the first time Auburn's been in the top 5 since literally this week in 2020. And if you remember what happened that week, and I know, Kayla, you will, but some of those watching may not, Auburn's next game went to Tuscaloosa and lost by 19. So, things are good in this rivalry, especially when both basketball teams are good, and they are again in this state, which is really kind of cool to see. This is a tricky spot for Auburn to come in. Again, as you mentioned, that 11-game win streak, they are super hot right now, and they've won some conference games, most recently including South Carolina on the road, where they're covering. They're covering in lots of games. You got Florida Tech coach Mike White coming out the press conference last week saying that Auburn is like the team that could have beaten 99% of all basketball teams the way the crowd was the other night and the way the team played the other night. Auburn's a really, really, really good basketball team. They've got top-end talent. You got Jabari Smith, who could be the number 1 overall pick in June when it's time for his number to be called. So there is a lot of really good talent for Auburn to be considered this good.
Yep.
There's good talent in Tuscaloosa, too. And that's the thing. They are so guard-heavy with Javon Quinterly and J.D. Davidson and Keon Ellis. Like, they are so good with their guards that it's going to be difficult for me to think that Auburn can go into Tuscaloosa and just roll all over Alabama. Plus, I think there's going to be a little bit of angst and anger from the Crimson Tide fan base. They're going to be rabid for this game itself. It's not going to be a national championship win hangover. There are people going to be jumping for this game. It's 2 top 25 scoring offenses, 2 top flight defenses. Actually, I take that back. Alabama's terrible on defense. They're the 300 scoring defense in the league, or in the country, and I don't get that too. So I think both teams can put up a bunch of points tonight. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm leaning Auburn +3 because I think they are deeper with the top line talent right now, and they're playing at a better rate right now. But it wouldn't surprise me if Alabama goes up and beats Auburn this evening in Tuscaloosa. But for my money, I'm going to take Auburn +3, and that's especially if KD Johnson is good, because KD Johnson's been great this entire season. If he's good, and he's borderline very good in this game, Auburn might run away with it. But I'm saying Auburn +3 tonight at Coleman Coliseum. What do you say?
I'm right there with you. This is how I'm looking at it. Auburn's one and only loss of the season came at the hands of then-ranked UConn, and it was a 2-overtime loss at that. Since then, they have faced one other ranked team in number 16 LSU and won 70-55 before facing the Crimson Tide tonight. As far as conference play goes, they have also put up wins over South Carolina and Florida. Bama, on the other hand, has had 4 losses on the season, all of which were to unranked schools. Most recently, at Mizzou, 92-86. Quick pause to gloat. They have, however, beaten number 3 Gonzaga, number 14 Houston, and number 14 Tennessee. So, Bama, you don't make a lot of sense here. The biggest issue for Alabama is their defense, who, as you mentioned, gave up 92 points to Mizzou. Before Saturday's game, Mizzou was averaging around 60 points per game, so that's not a great look for Bama. And for a team who ranked 3rd in defense efficiency last season, they have taken a slight fall from grace, now sitting at 62 nationally. On the other side, thanks to Auburn's Walker Kessler, who averages 4.5 blocks per game, the Tigers rank first in 2-point percentage defense among the SEC. Alabama's offensive weapons include Jaden Shackelford, who leads the team in points, Keon Ellis in rebounds, and Javon Quinterly, who leads in assists. Aside from stepping up their defense, trying to contain Auburn's leading scorer in Jabari Smith, who right now is being projected, as you mentioned, to be a top 3 pick in the NBA draft, should also be high on Alabama's list of things to do tonight. On the season, though, Bama is 6-9 against the spread and 5-8 when playing as the 3-point favorite. Auburn is 12-3 against the spread so far this season and have won their only game when going in as 3-point underdog. The Tigers have played in 5 games this season that have gone over this total, while Bama has done it in 8. So with all of this in mind, I'm not in a place right now where I could take Bama over Auburn with the seasons they are having, even though you could very much argue that Bama has better wins when it comes to strength of schedule. They also don't have great losses. But I will be taking the Dogs, or Tigers rather, tonight from Tuscaloosa at +3. And I also kind of like the over of 156, but I don't think I'm going to take it tonight. I'm just going to stick with the spread on this one.
Yeah, I kind of like the over, too. Can I give you an interesting stat about this game?
I would love an interesting stat.
So Auburn is a much better defensive team than Alabama right now, and I think that's why you see so many defensive teams go on the road and cover spreads this season. I mean, it's been wild. It's like 58% or something since Christmas. Road teams have been able to cover the spread. It's been actually rather wild to see that happen. But Walker Kessler, Auburn's like top 5 in the country in block shots per game. If you just took Walker Kessler's numbers, he's the big 7-footer that transferred from North Carolina.
Yep.
He'd be good for the top 60 of team totals. That's how crazy good he has been. He has had multiple 10-block games this season. Like, he's a phenom. He's nuts, and he's been able to get to a spot and to find the ball to block it a lot, too. So it's I'd like the defense just to be able to travel in this game, and that's the way I kind of like it for tonight, too. So, like I said, I'm with you all the way.
Love it. That was a great stat, great fact.